forget the first thing I told you. He's the weak link.
Before we open this file, let's set the record straight. This season is not therapy. This is not a healing circle. This is not let's process our feelings. This is strategy. Predators don't stop when you heal. They stop when you become difficult to attack. So we're done asking, why are they like this? We already know what they are. Now, we study how they operate. We identify tactics. We identify infrastructure. We identify leverage. Because once you understand the system, you stop reacting emotionally. You start moving tactically. From here on out, we treat this like a case, not a breakup, not drama, not family conflict, a case, evidence, timeline, countermeasures. So if you're looking for comfort, see my previous episodes. If you're ready to learn how to protect yourself, pull up a chair and let's open this file.
You there?
Yes.
Status update?
Secure. Moving in.
The cleaner.
Most people think the crime is the abuse. The yelling, the hitting, the theft. That's rookie thinking. In professional predation, the abuse is just the raw material. The real crime is the cover-up. You see, amateur criminals run from the scene. Master criminals, they walk right up to the police tape, lift it for the officers, and say, "I'm so glad you're here. I've been so worried about them." We call this the preemptive strike. It is a tactical donation of credibility before the victim has ever realized they were in a war. If you control the timeline, you control the truth. And if you speak first, you don't need evidence. You just need an audience. Tonight, we aren't looking at the bruises on the body. We are looking at the bruises on the reputation.
Does that sound concerned enough? Almost.
Add a pause here.
Let's send it.
The
Now.
front.
In every organized crime syndicate, there is a role. They don't break legs. They don't cook the books. They fix the public perception. In the mob, it's the front. In a toxic family system, it's the spokesperson. This is the family member who is friends with everyone. The one who calls your friends just to check in. The one who updates the prayer chain. Do not mistake this for a connection. This is surveillance. And this is asset management. Their job is to build a stockpile of credibility. They are hoarding trust. Why? So that when you finally break, when you finally scream or cry or expose them, they can spend that capital to bankrupt you. They don't have to prove you're right or you're crazy. They just have to remind everyone, I'm the nice one, remember? I'm the one who calls on birthdays. It is a transaction. They bought the neighborhood's trust so they can sell you out.
Weaponized benevolence.
Let's look at the weapon. It's not insults. Insults are messy. They leave a paper trail. The preferred weapon of the covert narcissist is concern. Concern is a perfect silencer. It masks malice as love. I'm just so worried about their mental state. Translation: establish the target as unreliable. We're praying they come back to reality. Translation: establish the target as delusional. Please be gentle with them. They aren't themselves. Translation: disarm the witnesses. Do you see the elegance of the strike? They are destroying your character while pretending to save your soul. If they scream at you, they look like the villain. If they pray for you, you look like the tragedy, and they look like the saint. It is military-grade gaslighting deployed on a community level.
Isolation protocol.
What is the goal? To isolate the asset. In intelligence work, if you want to break a target, you cut their comms. You don't lock them in a room. That's illegal. You make them radioactive. You spread the narrative so effectively that when the victim walks into a room, the air changes. People stop talking. Eyes shift. It is social exile. And it is cheaper than a hitman because it forces the victim to self-destruct. You stop reaching out because you feel the judgment. You isolate yourself to avoid the shame. You go silent. And that is the victory condition, silence. Because a silent victim cannot testify.
You need to sound sad, not angry.
Just send it.
Does this sound sincere enough?
The
It's
myth
sent.
of
Get ready.
neutrality.
But isolation doesn't happen by magic. Smear campaigns don't spread themselves. Predators don't operate alone. Operations like this require infrastructure, and infrastructure requires people. There is a persistent lie in abusive systems. It sounds moral. It sounds reasonable. I'm staying neutral. Let's correct the record. Neutrality is not moral. It's logistical. When harm is happening, doing nothing doesn't freeze the situation. It stabilizes the aggressor. The narcissist may not hold the weapon, but the enablers lock the exits. They call it keeping the peace. Forensic calls it something else. Complicity. Institutional betrayal. Willful blindness. If you saw harm and chose comfort over intervention, you weren't neutral. You were operational support. System justification theory explains it. Humans defend the status quo because disruption feels more dangerous than suffering. The tyrant is awful but predictable. The truth teller destabilizes everything. So you weren't the victim, you were the threat. Not wrong, just inconvenient. It's the missing stair principle. Everyone knows it's broken, but they blame the person who falls, not the stair. Comfort always sides with power. That is the banality of evil. Enabling isn't usually cruel, it's economical. Confronting the abuser costs retaliation. Confronting you only costs awkwardness. So, they sacrifice the cheaper loss. You. Every "I don't take sides" was free labor for propaganda. Silence is infrastructure.
The Canary Trap.
So now you understand the battlefield. It isn't just the predator, it's the network, which means guessing who's safe isn't strategy. Verification is. And in counterintelligence, there's a test for that. It's called a Canary Trap. Here's how you execute it. You take 3 people you suspect are compromised: the neutral friend, the worried aunt, the favorite cousin. You tell them each a different piece of minor, harmless information. To the neutral friend, I think I'm moving to Chicago. To the worried aunt, I think I'm going back to design school. To the favorite cousin, I'm thinking of adopting a dog. And then you wait. When the narcissist eventually contacts you or attacks you, listen to what they know. If they mock your art degree, you know who's the leak. You do not confront the leak. You do not explain. You mark the file compromised and you cut the feed. You stop looking for loyalty. Start looking for data.
Keep it tight, no emotion. So,
Yes, make it clear she's out of touch.
Breaking
and
the script.
unstable. Family
Yes.
statement backs this
Post
up.
first, control the narrative.
So, how do you beat a rig that is fixed against you? You don't play their game. You don't defend. You don't explain. You don't justify. Defense is an admission of weakness. In the courtroom, if you are explaining, you are losing. Instead, you change the venue. Realize that the people who believe the concern narrative are not the jury. They are collateral damage. Let them go. So stop trying to convince the people committed to misunderstanding you. Build a new case file. Document, record, wait. But here is a fatal flaw in the narcissist machine. They cannot hold the mask forever. The concerned saint eventually gets tired and the mask slips. And when it does, you don't need to say a word. The evidence speaks for itself.
Civilian defense protocols.
Once a smear campaign starts, you are not in a relationship problem. You are in a reputational war. And wars are not solved with conversations. They are solved with leverage. Predators don't respect explanations. They respect consequences. Think less closure, more counterintelligence. Protocol 1. Control the record. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. You are building an exhibit list. Courts don't care about feelings. They care about proof. Protocol 2. Move everything to writing. Verbal is deniable. Written is admissible. Liars hate paper trails because paper trails become subpoenas. Protocol 3. Defamation awareness. Use the real words. Slander and libel. Predators behave differently when they realize they are not untouchable. Protocol 4. Starve the intel. Stop oversharing. Information is ammunition. Compartmentalize. Need to know only. Protocol 5. Third-party witnessing. Never attend high conflict exchanges alone, ever. Public spaces, cameras, sunlight is surveillance. Protocol 6. Legal escalation when necessary. Cease and desist letters, restraining orders, police reports. Documentation turns stories into cases, and cases turn predators into defendants. This isn't therapy. This is containment. When someone is willing to lie about your sanity, you don't negotiate. You fortify. You understand?
They don't argue. They coordinate. Watch closely.
The verdict.
This isn't emotion. It's strategy.
All right. This is the part that matters the most. Because you will either reclaim your power or you disappear. Calm does not mean small. Calm does not mean silent. Calm does not mean vanish from your own life. When people say stay neutral, don't respond, that doesn't mean shrink. People isolate, they hide, they feel embarrassed, humiliated, like they need to lay low. This is where most victims lose. Not in abuse, not in the smear. They lose here at the emotional reaction, at where humiliation makes them panic, where embarrassment makes them defend themselves, where they start explaining, stop. That is the trap. That is the whole idea. That's exactly what the smear wants. Smear campaigns do not run on truth. They do not win when people believe them. They win when you disappear. So don't disappear. If anything, this is your peacock season. You go outside, you live, you post, you grow, you work, you study, you build. You glow up so hard, the lies look stupid standing next to you. Because reality exposes propaganda naturally. People aren't blind. Neutral people aren't stupid. They watch, they observe, they compare behavior. And eventually, they notice something. The one they called unstable is calm, thriving, improving, building a life. And the one who claimed to be concerned won't stop talking, won't stop smearing, won't stop chasing. Patterns tell the truth, not explanations. The moment you start scrambling to clear your name, they win. Because now you look unstable. Now you look desperate. Now you look exactly like the story they told. We don't beg to be understood. We don't argue with spectators. We build a case. So you don't defend yourself. You outgrow the narrative. And understand this too. You are not alone in this field. They built a network. You should have one too. Friends, witnesses, people who see clearly. If you see something, screenshot it. If someone says, I saw what they posted, have them screenshot it and you log it. You're not gossiping, you're documenting. Everything leaves a trail. Screenshots, timestamps, messages, voicemails, IP logs, witnesses, records. This is not drama. This is discovery. Legal discovery. Every lie becomes evidence. Every smear becomes a timestamp. Every harassment attempt becomes a record. They think they're ruining you. They're building your case file for you. And let's be very clear. This isn't just emotional anymore. This is legal territory. Slander is real. Defamation is real. Harassment is real. Stalking is real. And stalking is murder in slow motion. Judges don't ignore that. Lawyers don't ignore that. Courts don't ignore that. Lawyers build entire careers around this now. So stop acting like you're powerless, because you're not. Power isn't screaming online. Power isn't writing essays defending yourself. Power isn't arguing with spectators. Power is composure. Power is discipline. Power is restraint. Power is knowing I don't have to prove anything. Because truth doesn't panic. Truth doesn't chase. Truth just stands there and let the lies exhaust themselves. Keep in mind, this is your test too. Can you stay grounded when someone lies about you? Can you stay disciplined when you're misunderstood? Can you resist the urge to perform innocence? Can you hold your fire? Remember what we said earlier, if you're explaining, you are losing. So don't join the circus. Don't get on the soapbox. Don't audition for sympathy. Just live. Win quietly. Stack evidence, stack accomplishments, stack peace. And years from now, they will be remembered as a person who tried to destroy someone out of spite. And you'll be remembered as the one who survived psychological warfare and kept building anyway. That's reputation. Real reputation. The kind no smear can touch. This was never a relationship problem. It was an operation. And now, you're not the target anymore. You're the investigator. You're the witness. You're the record keeper. You're the one holding the file. You are no one's victim unless you volunteer to be. Remember your power and hold your fire. I am Wolfie. Welcome to the Resistance.